Welcome to our Riviera Travel Best of Japan vlog series. In this video we spend 2 days exploring Tokyo. We visit palaces and temples, markets and shrines, beautiful gardens, we ride the metro and we cross the busiest pedestrian crossing in the world. Plus we give you our top 3 tips of where to eat and drink in the Akasaka district of Tokyo.
Right then! Welcome to our new adventure. We are currently in Japan on a tour with Riviera Travel. We've been kindly invited. That's a good start, isn't it?
She hasn't been drinking.
No,
honestly.
I haven't.
We're a little bit tired, but she definitely hasn't been drinking.
No. So we've been kindly invited by Riviera Travel to join them on a 12-night tour of Japan, and it's called the Best of Japan. As you can see from this map, this is our itinerary over the next 12 days, and this is where we're going to be taking you. We're starting off with 3 nights in Tokyo, and then we're going to be going to Lake Kawaguchi, where we're also going to go to Hakone, Hiroshima, Miyajima, Kyoto, Okayama, Nara, and we're also having 2 trips on the bullet train. So we're really, really excited about it, aren't we, Paulie?
We most definitely are.
So it's our first time in Japan, so it's all been new and exciting. Let's start with our first day. And wow, what a day it was, wasn't it, Paulie?
It's off to a great start because it was only a 9:15 a.m. meet on the bus. Now after our river cruise, where most mornings it was a lot earlier than that, but it's needs must. I think they're breaking this in gently, so
I think so. But just to mention what just Paul said, if you're new to following our channel, thanks for watching us and finding us. If you want to know, we did a Mekong River cruise before we came to Japan, so do check that out too.
Check that out. And also don't forget that up there.
Oh yes. If you haven't already, then please do, because that would make us very happy. Anyway, back to this morning.
9:15 now. Straight off, what I like is they do a seating plan for the coach. Now I like that. It's very. You might say, "Oh my God, how organises this trip?" But if you've ever been on an escorted tour, you will know that you'll have the same people sitting in the same seats. They'll be waiting as soon as the bus door opens, so they only got to walk 3 foot to sit down. Now, that's not always fair, is it? So what they do is they do a seating plan for the coach, and that changes every day. So everybody gets a chance to sit in different positions on the coach, and it's just the best for everybody.
It is. It's a really good. It's a really good start to the day, as Paul said, because you always get your seat hoggers, don't you? Which we had on a previous tour to Canada. So check that out too.
Yes.
So our meeting place for the tours is at the main lobby, which is this complex at the Otani Tower garden is huge. So we need to walk down here and meet the group. We've done a separate tour and review of this hotel, so make sure you check that out too. So we're off to the coach, and we've been told that there's a seating plan. So everyone's been allocated a seat, which is the first. So we're number 5. Good morning. Row 5 door. This is very prescriptive, isn't it?
Prescriptive? Is that a word?
I think so.
So we got on the coach, lovely comfortable coach, and a lovely driver. We got introduced to Yuri, who's going to be our Japanese tour. Now let's just go...
Guide. Tour guide.
Tour guide.
Bern is the tour manager. Honestly, man.
Oh my God.
She hasn't been drinking.
Been such a busy day.
Bern is the tour manager. Yuri is our Japanese tour manager.
Guide.
Who's staying with us for 3 or 4 days, and then we're going to pick up a new guide. So what they do, which is great because they've all got their specialist subjects. Yuri is based in Tokyo, so what she doesn't know about Tokyo isn't worth knowing, as we found out today.
Exactly.
Good morning greeting is easy to remember, at least I find it easy, if I think of the US state of Ohio. So that's how it sticks in my mind, so Ohio for good morning. You know me already, but I'll just remind you that my name is Bernie. You remember meeting me. We just need a husband, I think.
Which one would you like?
Well, I'm just having a look.
I count 42, including you.
42?
Yeah.
Oh, so we need 2 more people then. So firstly and most importantly, yes, that's our husband.
No problem. You're not
Hooray!
No one's late. No, no.
Fish and chips.
I'd like to introduce our guide who'll be with us for Tokyo and Hakone, so all the way through to Mount Fuji and our lakeside stay. So for the next few days we'll be in very good company, and our local guide for the first part of the tour is this lovely lady here. Her name is Yuri. Ohayo gozaimasu, Yuri. And although we don't get to keep Yuri for the whole tour, we should get to keep our driver, and our driver is here. This is Kamata-san. Ohayo gozaimasu, Kamata-san. He's a very formal gentleman, so as you get on and off the coach, you'll always find he greets you. He says lovely things to you, like have a nice time, welcome back. You know, so it's the Japanese have a very formal system to follow. Were you bowed at any point today, at breakfast maybe, or coming out the hotel? And yes, did you bow back, or do you feel, yeah, funny? You just have to throw yourself into these things, don't you?
So on our Riviera tour, there's 44 in the group, and when we heard that number, we thought, oh, that's big. It'll be interesting to see the dynamics, because obviously everyone's meeting for the first time, and you always get sort of stronger personalities, etc., and see how a group pans out. And some people that you feel, oh, they're all right at the beginning, might not be by the end. So stay tuned.
Stay tuned. I mean, obviously, you know that I'm not opinionated, and I just go with the flow. So I know nobody's going to have any problems with me at all. So,
but let's talk about our tour manager, which is a lady called Bernie from England, and she's lovely, isn't she? She's very knowledgeable about Japan. She organises that, obviously, every day-to-day activities. She makes sure that your room's as it should be, etc., etc. And in addition to that, you also get a Japanese guide, and we've got a lovely lady called Yuri, who we met this morning, and she's been looking after us so well. The Japanese culture, they're just so kind and lovely people, and we're learning to bow a lot, aren't we, at the moment?
I can have such a bad back. Because what was funny today, there's so many meanings to a bow. There's like a good morning bow. There's a respectful bow for your elders. There's a thank you bow, but there's also an apology bow.
Yeah.
And apparently, how big you've made a boo-boo, that dictates how low you have to bow.
Exactly.
So we'll be interested. I'd imagine by about day 4, I'll have to bow, my head to be touching the floor, I would have thought.
I know. But it's so interesting because we've never been to Japan before, and learning all about their etiquette and just about their society and how they live has just been fascinating already. But we'll be going to more depth about that as we go on.
So our basic itinerary for the day, just to give you an outline, and we'll do more details as we go to place by place. First of all, we have a short drive this morning towards the site of the old fish market. The fish market was moved in time for the Olympics, which was delayed by a year, but they wanted to give a good, sort of cleaned up impression. But the outer area of the fish market was preserved, and that's where people go to enjoy street food. So it's quite a good start to the day because it's quite lively. We're in amongst the locals, and we can also see one of the many Shinto shrines that we'll be seeing, the one for the fishermen.
So our first stop on our trip today was to the fish market. And you pronounced it right, didn't you, Paulie?
Yeah.
Tsukiji.
Tsukiji.
Nippon Fishport Market. And this is the busiest fish market in Tokyo, which opens at 6 stupid o'clock, didn't it? They have all the guys from the restaurants that get in there at sort of dawn. And by the time we got there about sort of 9 p.m, or just after, was it about half past 9?
About 9:30.
She said, it's a lot quieter now.
A lot quieter. It was like an absolute bum fight. And it's good because there was a mix of tourists and locals, because if you're into seafood, I'm not a big seafoody person. Carole a little bit more than me. I know I'm the prawn king when I go to Thailand, but there was seafood I didn't even recognise, and you just look at it and you think, what's that? And you got no clue. There's places where they're cooking food as well. It's not just about going to buy raw product. There was a man who was making the biggest saucepan full of
miso soup with crab. As you can see here, it was just fascinating.
And there was just a line of restaurants, and you couldn't get in hardly any of them because everybody was queuing. They were
And that's
so
the
popular.
lovely thing about Japan is they're very polite and they will queue. A bit like Brits, we queue for anything, don't we? So if you see a restaurant, you don't just go and walk in. You see, is there a queue?
Yeah.
And some of the restaurants were snaking round. It was just fascinating. We've been given a handset, so everyone's got one of these, as you do on their tours.
I've been given a headset.
Oh, headset. Ah, yeah. So we're going to join the group now.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ooh, what is it, Paulie?
I don't know.
Don't know. What are these?
This is rock soybeans.
Okay, thank
They're
you.
just black beans, nothing
Rock
weird.
soybeans.
Black beans.
Black beans. Oh.
The first one was nice.
That's interesting, Paulie, now. One dried and one chopped. Very nice. It's mad here, isn't it, Paulie?
Yeah.
It's a busy fish market for sure.
Of the fish market was the first shrine that we went to see. And can you remember the name, Paulie?
It was Namayoki Inari.
Ooh.
I know him well. Now, shrines are dedicated to real living people. They're not living now because this bloke would be 785. But it's genuine people who've lived, who've done something that people just think that they deserve a shrine in their honour. Now, this man was responsible for ensuring the safe well-being of the crews that worked on the fishing ships.
Yeah.
And he also helped out as well because in Tokyo there was a lot of reclaimed ground that was marshland, and when they dug out the moat for the Imperial Palace, which we're going to go on to next because that was our next stop, they thought, what can we do with this ground? What they did with it is they took it to the marshlands and they reclaimed a lot of the land, which is where the site of this fishing market now is.
Yeah. So, as Paul said, the shrines are just dedicated to people that have done good for the Japanese society, and the people go there and worship and say thank you for the abundant seafood and the abundant fish, and that everyone's that's safe that has been out fishing for them.
And what you have to do is when you go up to the shrine, if you want to ask for anything, you know, like well-being or, you know, health for a family member, you go up and you nod your head twice, you clap your hands twice, and then you say your name. And then that will bring the attention of the shrine, and then you say what you want.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah,
It's
it's
very,
very
very interesting.
Then we'll go on to explore the Imperial Palace area. We're actually in the area at the moment. The outer moat is part of the hotel complex currently. So we'll see from a distance, peering in, because the palace isn't like Buckingham Palace. You can't visit it. It's closed to the public. We can see the grounds and certainly the double bridge, the main entrance to the Imperial Palace.
Tokyo's Imperial Palace is the main residence of the Emperor of Japan. It's situated in a park-like area in the Chiyoda district of Tokyo. Originally named Edo Castle, it was the main residence of shogunates until they were forced to vacate the premises in 1868. A fire destroyed the castle in 1873, making way for the new Imperial Palace in 1888. In May 1945, most structures were destroyed by a bombing raid by Allied forces, and on 29th of July 1945, Emperor Hirohito met with his Privy Council in an underground shelter at the palace, which culminated in Japan's surrender from World War II.
Right then. So after a busy morning at the fish market and coming to see the Imperial Palace, it's now time for lunch, and we're being treated to a bento box.
Bento Box.
So what's in that bento box? We have no idea.
But we're going to find out, so let's go.
Yes.
Lunch was provided, and again, it's very educational, and it was a Japanese bento box. Now, to sum up, if you can remember, you used to get them TV dinners where it's got all little slots in there and different things in there. It's like that, and there was probably what, 10? 9 was it?
I think so, yeah.
9 or 12 or 38. One of them you'll know. Count them when we put a picture up.
So what you got then, Paulie? Rice.
A mystery liquid.
With miso. Very different. We have no idea what those things are. No. But we'll give it a go. What do you reckon, Paul?
Well, I'm not committing to anything at this stage.
What are you going for first then, Paulie?
I'm going to stab it in a minute.
What is it? I don't know.
Meat, I think.
Meat. Oh. Miso soup. Seaweed soup.
I said it smelled of fish, didn't I?
Yeah. Omelette.
No, you had the omelette.
So this is omelette.
Remember Forbes. Omelette. Good man.
Sweet. Interesting lunch. Don't know what that is. What's that? It's like a fish eye?
That's a pudding. It's a piece of fruit.
So we got some really tasty beef there and pickled vegetables, which is really nice. Mushrooms. All these bits of hoisin sauce all over his rice. And he fought it to a fork.
We're only here for an hour and I'd still be trying to pick it up.
It was lovely because we were sat with the group all on these long tables, so it's been really lovely to sit by different people and chat to everyone. Everyone seemed really happy, don't they, and chatty. And we were all sat there deciding, what is it? And we're like, oh, I don't know. And then one bit was thinking, oh, I think is that a pickled radish? I don't know. But it was lovely. So we had such a good dynamic there. It was really, it was such good fun, wasn't it?
It was definitely a conversation starter.
It was. So, and we used our chopsticks again. We're getting good at it, aren't we, Paulie?
Yeah, I used my chopsticks to pick my fork up.
I know, Paul gave up in
just
there.
couldn't
But
do
I'm
it.
really getting the hang of using the chopsticks, which we've struggled for years at home. But I'm determined to come back from Japan being very proficient. Paul's tried for half a day.
If I had to rely on chopsticks, I'm going to be 4 stone lighter.
Well, maybe that might be a good thing.
It's a bit harsh, isn't it?
It is a bit hard.
Right, so that was interesting, wasn't it, Paulie?
Oh, was it?
Some elements were very tasty, some were not. Anyway, we're off for ice cream now. We've been told that this place here does the best ice cream. So that's where we're going now. 2 vanilla coming up.
2 vanilla.
2 vanilla, but you can have all these green tea ones. Thank you. Look at that. Woohoo! Vanilla ice cream. Go on then, Annie. Get it tucked
That's
in.
a fancy pants cone. It looks like a flower. That's pretty good.
Is it?
Yeah.
My turn. Oh, that's very good. These are going down very well. What a lovely day we're having so far, aren't we,
It's
Paulie?
been pretty cool. What I like is it's a very sedate pace, isn't it?
It is.
It almost mirrors what it's like in Japan. And nothing's a million miles an hour.
Yeah, exactly. It's lovely. I'm in a lovely park. The sun's shining. We just got told that it was snowing here last week. So we've really lucked out with the weather today, haven't we, for our tour?
Definitely.
So,
I'm not talking much because I'm eating my ice cream.
I know. I don't want to bite into my fancy cone, look, because it's really pretty. I did.
But she's still dead.
Did you know that there's 5 million vending machines in Japan And if you want to go to the toilets are free, you don't have to pay. And they're just over here. So we've had 2 toilet stops on this tour so far.
Yeah.
And we haven't had to pay for either, have we?
That's good to know.
So it's good to know. But still going to chomp on the ice cream.
Then it was time for a place that I've always wanted to go to because I thought, oh my God, it's going to be crazy and mad. And it was crazy and mad. And that's the Shibuya.
Hey, it's only day one. It's
Shibuya Crossing, and it's also called the Scramble Crossing.
I bet you wish it was called Scramble Crossing all the time. Scramble Crossing is a crossroads.
Well, it's more than that.
It's a spaceship that can. It's like a crossroads, but when the lights go to red for the traffic, it stops all the traffic. And then what happens is you can cross the road. But people don't just cross from one road to the other. They might go straight through the middle. They might be going from that way. There's people going absolutely everywhere. And there's how many people every 2 minutes?
250,000, they reckon. 2,500. What did I say?
250,000.
2,500 people.
She had one job.
I know, and I wrote it down. 2,500 people cross there every
2 minutes.
Japanese people just rules. I love it. Rules. If you're stood at crossroads, you don't jaywalk or just walk across the road. You wait so the green man comes on, and then everyone goes together. It's like you do all things together.
It's like a military manoeuvre.
It is.
And like Carole said, even if there's nothing coming, people wait for the green light.
Yes.
And obviously you're on your marks, get set, and at this one particular place, like I said, it is world famous.
Well, let's just show you our footage that we hopefully can do it justice, because we were obviously on the ground floor, and then we'll show you there is an elevator there. If you are visiting Tokyo, there's an elevator there that Yuri took us up, so you can actually look down onto it. So hopefully we've got some good footage for you here.
They still following me? That's crazy, isn't it?
Now, also at Shibuya Scramble Crossing, yeah, you'll find a statue of dog called
Hachiko.
Yes.
Now, Hachiko is a Japanese Akita. Now, if it's a Japanese Akita in Japan, is it just an Akita? Or is it still a Japanese Akita? I don't know. Answers on a postcard. But anyway, this dog was the dog of a professor at the local university. And every day, Hachiko would wait for his master to turn up off the train, and then they would walk home together. One day, Hachiko's master went to work and unfortunately died. But Hachiko waited at the train station every day at the same time for 9 years until he passed away of old age. Now, this is a true story, and it was immortalised. I've never seen it, but it was a film with Richard Gere. and it was called Hatch's Story, so they shortened the name a little bit.
Oh,
so
okay.
it's a true story.
Yeah.
And Richard Gere was the unfortunate professor who passed away. Sounds like it'd be a bit of a, oh, I know, poor old Hachiko.
So that's the statue there at Shibuya Scramble Crossing. Said it.
Yes.
So after the madness of the crossing,
Now things are going to get interesting. Where did we go, Annie?
we went to the Hara-juku area, where there's a street called Takeshita. Takeshita. Takeshita.
Takeshita.
Takeshita. So, which is renowned for, it's a very popular area with teenagers, and apparently this is the area where if there's a new trend or there's a new fashion or anything that is invented, it seems to start in this street, which goes for 400 metres and is just packed full of shops of fashion and people wearing very bizarre clothes and very, very interesting boots that are about 4 foot high.
Carole would be normal height if she lived in Japan, because she could put some of these boots on I've seen, it's like they've got stilts on.
Exactly.
But it's very entertaining. Some of the fashion is mind-boggling, but it was definitely worth a look. It was so amusing to see, but just absolutely, again, like sardines in a tin.
Yeah.
So
we managed about 100 metres, didn't we?
Yeah.
And then we thought, you
And
know
then we
what,
turned
we're fine. We did spot a lovely snakeskin jacket. We thought, oh, that would do for a formal night on a cruise. No.
yes, she's really tired. What I found more interesting, and unfortunately I didn't spot it till I got on the bus, was there was a fender shop. And I've never ever in my life seen a fender shop. Now it's the 70th anniversary of the Fender Stratocaster, which has been played by many, many, many top guitarists, including, to name but one, Jimi Hendrix. So, and it was set over about 3 floors, and you could actually see people in the shop playing guitars with headphones on. I would have just loved to have popped in just to say, oh mate, can I have a go on that Fender Stratocaster? And of course they wouldn't know that I would be like a pig with a rifle trying to play it. It would have been like a cat being strangled. Meow, 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 pee. But they wouldn't have known until they let me have a go. So that would have been entertaining. But alas, I was already sat on the bus.
Do you know that area? I think I'd like to go back there because it had lots of different sort of, high-end shops. There was a big Samsung shop. There was, all that area there is for shopping. So I think we ought to go back.
I don't.
And then our last stop of the day, by now it was getting to 4:30, and to be fair, we were pretty whacked, weren't we? Because it's been a full-on day. But the last stop was to another shrine for Emperor Meiji.
I'm going to go Meiji. You can go Meiji. Meiji. Again, lots of tourists, but also lots of Japanese people. Yuri told us that on the 1st and 2nd and 3rd of January every year, 3 million Japanese people go to this shrine because it's a major shrine. And Meiji was an emperor of Japan, and he was basically the founder of modern Tokyo.
Yeah.
But he was the man that came in and said, right, well, this is what we need to do.
Yeah. And it's surrounded by a fabulous forest. And this whole forest, because Tokyo's built on volcanic rock, they wanted to grow trees there, and they wanted to grow cedar trees, but apparently that doesn't do well in that soil. So what they did, they had to import 100,000 trees, and they said in 100 years' time, it will look absolutely fantastic. And we're here 100 years later, just after, and it is fantastic. You would never know that this was a handmade...
And all the 100,000 trees are all donated from people throughout Japan.
Yeah.
So
it's pretty incredible.
Yeah,
it really is incredible. So that was very interesting to see. And then we were back on the coach and straight back to the hotel, feeling very, very weary and ready for a cup of coffee, weren't we, Paulie?
A cup of coffee or two, and then do a piece to camera for you lovely people, which is what we're doing now.
Yes. So that was a great first day. Tomorrow we've got a half a day tour, and then we've got some free time. So stay tuned and we'll show you what we get up to. Right then.
Right then.
Day 2. So we're off on a morning excursion today and we've got the afternoon free. So let's go and see where that takes us.
Let's go.
Right then, so Paul and I have been having a bet on what row we're going to be sat in. Yesterday was 5, wasn't it, Paulie?
It was.
I'm saying 12. What are you saying?
2.
2. Oh,
Good morning.
Good morning. So let's see.
So we've got to get the coach for 9 o'clock this morning. So we're prompt, aren't we, Paulie?
Yeah.
Paul's just checked with Yuri the bow that you have to give in the morning. And can you demonstrate, Paul? This is a slight little
bow.
Yeah, it's a slight little bow. We're getting used to bowing, aren't we?
Well,
Such a lovely, polite culture.
I've been used to bowing for a long time. Being Carole.
Oh, right, so what's the answer then? Number 8.
On the door.
We were both wrong, Paulie. Number 8.
Back of the scrum.
This is your bag where you put all your rubbish and you actually take it back to the hotel. How cool is that?
Do you know what you do with that? When you get it back to your hotel, throw it straight out your window.
You don't.
Morning, Ohayo gozaimasu, Kamata-san. Good morning, Yuri-san. How are you? Ohayo gozaimasu. Are you well? You look well. You always look well. The main stop of the morning is going to be for Senso Ji Buddhist Temple. So yesterday we were introduced to the Shinto belief system at the Meiji Shrine. Today we'll see Japanese Buddhist.
Senso Ji Buddhist Temple, also known as Asakusa Kannon, is Tokyo's oldest established temple dedicated to Kannon, who was known for his compassion. The temple complex includes the main hall, a 5-story pagoda and huge gates. Senso Ji is the most visited religious site in the world with over 30 million visitors every year. The sacred smoke of Senso Ji, also known as holy smoke, is a giant urn full of incense. Visitors believe that inhaling the smoke will bring them good luck. Inside the grounds of the temple were lots of people in ceremonial robes, as well as some people in very questionable footwear. There was also lots of souvenir shops, restaurants and hawker stalls, including this one that sold delicious fried chicken. We even managed to get a free ice cream.
Big chicken.
Yeah, chicken for 600 yen. How much is that then, Paulie?
£2.75.
Oh, tuck in then. Come in this way.
It's all on one stick.
Do you like Kentucky Fried Chicken?
I'll tell you what, it is.
Is it?
Lovely, yeah.
Oh, let's have a look at it. Oh, might have to have a piece then. So they're doing a free promotion of ice creams. I've got one. So let's try it. It's like an ice cream in a wafer. Ooh.
It looks a bit like a waffle.
Waffly versatile. Oh, look at
You
that.
have to take that off on the outside.
You don't.
Carole doing everything with grapes as normal.
Wow. Wafer. Vanilla ice cream. It's got chocolate in it. Oh, for me, Paulie Morgan.
I've got one too.
Next up was a cruise along the Sumida River. The first thing that caught our attention was the strange building across the river, which turned out to be the Asahi Brewery. The building was designed by French designer Philip Stark and was completed in 1989. It is considered one of Tokyo's most recognisable buildings. The golden flame represents the burning heart of Asahi beer, though locals call the flame by a different name. What do you think the golden flame looks like?
We're going on a boat trip.
We are.
Apparently we're going down the River Nile.
No, we're not. We're going to Ginza. It's going to take about 40 minutes. And the sun's shining and we're having a fabulous day, haven't we, Paulie?
Oh, it's been alright. Well, it has, because we got free ice cream, so it's a great day.
Yes.
After our river cruise, we visited the Hama-rikyu Gardens. There are 14 million people in Tokyo, and I think that over the last couple of days we've seen most of them. So the peacefulness of this stop was very welcoming. The Hama-rikyu Gardens was the family home of the Tokugawa shoguns and dates back to the early 1600s and was donated to the city of Tokyo shortly after the Second World War ended in 1945.
Right then, so we're in the tube station for a metro, purchasing tickets. Our hotel is Akasaka Mitsu, so Atsumatsu Mitsu.
Select a number of tickets.
2.
Insert money order.
That's it.
Don't forget to take your card.
And take your tickets. Ooh, well done, Paulie. So that was easy. So you just put your ticket through the slot, and it came at the other end. And now we're going down to the Ginza line, which will take us back to our hotel. So we need to get off at Akasaka Mitsuku. Akasaka Mitsuku is over here.
The train, as you would expect, was bang on time, but we were glad we were only going 3 stops as we were crammed in like sardines.
And it's a miracle, we got to the right place. Woohoo! Right then, so we're back in our area of our hotel, and if you look up there, can you see the white, if I'm pointing at it right, that one there, let me show you this way. There, that's our hotel. So this is the street, we call it the Wendy Street. It's a street opposite the crossing, which is about a 5-minute walk from our hotel.
It is indeed.
And as you see, it's full of little restaurants. There's the Mermaid Pub, which is a great find that has a happy hour 4 till 7. And there's all little restaurants down here. So it's been a really great find for us, hasn't it? Oh, the location for the hotel's been awesome.
It's been fabulous. And what you've basically got is you've got 3 streets that are almost identical. This one, the next one, and the next one. And they're all very similar. Bars, restaurants, etc.
Yeah. So there's a family mart. So if you want any of your conveniences, like I said, shampoo, deodorant, bits like that, you can find family marts. You can also find 7-Elevens, but not as frequent as are they?
Prevalent.
Not as prevalent. That's the word. Yes, that is a good word. So if you run out of anything, don't worry about it in Japan, because you'll find it. And the Japanese people are so helpful that all you need to do is just say, excuse me, I don't know what I'm doing, and they are there to help you, which is fabulous. This is a good example of restaurants where you will see, look, tripe casserole, oh my gosh, cold noodles with soup, cold noodles with spicy sauce, crab marinated in soy sauce, beef crown, barbecue set, Sirloin, that looks... oh my gosh, look. Sliced pig trotter. Sliced raw octopus.
Did you say otter then?
No, trotters.
Trotters. And this one here
And
looks
spicy
like...
soup. Yeah, see, that's not for us.
As Carole said, some of the food on offer wasn't to our taste, but thankfully there was plenty that was. Here are 3 of our favourite places that were just a short walk from our hotel, the Otani Garden Towers.
This is an awesome find. If you love ramen, then this is the place you need to be. And we'll show you here why, with the fantastic food that we had. It's cash only. It's got about 12 tables in, but absolutely fabulous. But as you can see here, we had one of them and we had one of them.
Time for a beer. Strong.
Oh, you're moving it around. So strong you're having some more?
Well, obviously, yeah. I'm going to waste it.
This is tastiest broth, isn't it, Paulie? Ramen. This is absolutely delicious.
Well, I don't know, because I thought I was having a spicy one, but all of a sudden Carole's got it.
It's lovely. Nailing it now.
Zang.
We're officially beaten. We made a good effort.
Carole's made a slightly better effort.
But it's delicious, so we'll definitely be back.
I managed to get noodle juice over my glasses, my phone,
Over
the
me.
table, over Carole, but I'm not an aficionado with the old chopsticks, but fabulous food.
The other side to go back around, Paulie.
Back round. Thank you so much.
This noodle bar was recommended to us by the staff of the Mermaid Pub, which we will be telling you about shortly. Not only was this food delicious, it was amazing value too, with each dish costing less than £5. It's the only yellow building on this street, so you can't miss it. Our next recommendation is Public Red. Found directly opposite the Yellow Noodle Bar, this modern bar restaurant has an excellent selection of food and has an incredible 7-hour happy hour, with beers and wines from less than £3.
Okay.
Happy hour.
Lovely.
Can I have a big beer, please?
Big beer.
Yes, please.
And I'm going to have a, do you have a glass of Sauvignon Blanc, white wine?
White wine.
White wine, yes. There's a big beer, Paulie. Do you want to try it?
I need a little old flank to go with that.
Thirsty?
That was all froth. Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
So let's try this beer, this wine. Oh, cheers. Oh, that's nice too. Resolved. But we're going to have one for the road in Tokyo, aren't we? At our favourite bar, the Mermaid. So come with us. Oh, am I going the wrong way? Ah! Am I really?
Yes.
Oh, are you sure?
Yes.
It's probably pulling my plonker. Ah, hey!
I'm going.
Very good. You good?
The Mermaid Pub has a happy hour from 4 p.m. until 7 p.m, but even outside of these times, local beers are around £5 a pint. They also have a selection of food on offer, including a massive fish and chips. There's also a jukebox with a fabulous selection of music, and the staff are very friendly and incredibly helpful too. Join us in the next part of our Riviera Travel Best of Japan tour, where we head to Mount Fuji, we spend a night overlooking a fabulous lake, we ride the iconic bullet train, and we sail on a pirate ship. Now watch more of our Japanese tour and hotel stays next.